Good evening, you're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. This evening we're counting down to the mock civil defense drills that we're going to be witnessing across the country in over 200 districts in just hours from now. We're going to be answering all your questions on what these mock drills are going to look like. If you're wondering what really is next to me, I'm going to also be running you through the essentials that you need to keep with you in your residence. Mind you, this is only in case of an emergency. But with mock drills happening, we want to ensure that you're 100% prepared in your residence for you and your loved ones. So over the next 1 hour, we'll get you a sense of what's expected in your city, your town, your district as far as these mock drills go, what steps you can take in your home to ensure you're fully prepared too. I know there are a lot of WhatsApp forwards, social media messages that you're getting. We're here to clear the air on all of that. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. So brace yourself for the mock drill tomorrow across the country as civil defense volunteers will be rehearsing their readiness in case of any emergency or warlike situation. Before we kick off our 1 hour broadcast on the mock drills, I'd like to reiterate that this is a mock drill. I'm stressing on that to reiterate that there's absolutely no reason to jump to conclusions or to panic. It's a rehearsal to ensure we're fully prepared for any eventuality. So let's get right down to it now. Here's what the drill will look like. You see it on your screens. We've seen rehearsals for the drill with civil defense volunteers who get down on the ground when air raid sirens go off. They also rehearse what is to be done if someone faints, if someone's injured, how to help them, how to carry them, and ensure maximum assistance. All of these people on your screens are civil defense volunteers. Essentially, the idea is to check the training of these volunteers and of all the resources available, whether we're fully prepared. It's a check, a rehearsal that we're seeing. So where will these drills take place? There are 244 districts that essentially have been identified, and we'll break down for you the categories based on the level of alertness, based on the sensitivity and security preparedness. We will be seeing this massive security of security preparedness. It'll be happening in cities from north to south, east to west. We'll be seeing these drills taking place in Delhi, Mumbai. You're going to be seeing it in all of the metro cities and also cities that are bordering Pakistan. So Amritsar falls in that list. Chandigarh, Chennai, metro city in the south. We'll see drills there too. In Jaipur, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Kolkata, all of them will see drills. I'm listing out a few of those: Lucknow, Surat, Vadodara. Remember that off this list of drills, there are some cities that have been identified as category 1, which I'll explain in just a bit. But before that, it's not just cities. We will also be seeing these mock drills taking place at nuclear sites, ports across the country. Here are the ones that have been identified as most sensitive. As far as nuclear plants go, there is in fact Akrapur in Gujarat. There's also the Uran port in Maharashtra. That's a seaport. You have the Kalpakkam nuclear power plant in Tamil Nadu, where again there will be a drill. There's Rawat Bhatta in Rajasthan, another nuclear power plant where there's going to be a mock drill. Tarapur in Maharashtra, a nuclear power plant. And then you have Talcher in Odisha, which is a mega power plant. This is where you're going to be seeing the drill. So these are the installations, the sensitive installations, vital installations to the country, where again they're going to be checking all of the protocol that's put in place. Obviously a lot more exaggerated, a lot more elaborate in these areas, which are obviously sensitive installations. Let's take a look at our next report first. These are ground reports by our reporters who've been out in different parts of the country. In some places, we've already been seeing rehearsals of civil defense volunteers coming together. Here's a look at that.
As India-Pakistan tensions escalate, India is getting war ready. And it's not just the military. The Indian government is preparing civilians too. The Ministry of Home Affairs has directed all states and union territories to conduct civil defense exercises across 244 districts on May 7th. These 244 districts have been identified as vulnerable to various threats. These districts have been divided into 3 categories based on threat perception. The drills will include the activation of air raid warning sirens, will test blackout measures in key areas including residential sites. The primary objective of the exercise is to test and strengthen the civil defense system in the event of hostile attacks. Metro cities have already started preparing civilians for emergency situations.
And that's the siren, that's the alert by the civil defense. You can clearly see the voice which is coming out. Okay, that's the voice coming from the siren. That's the voice coming from the siren. As you can see, the speed, the volume is increasing. The volume, as far the volume is increasing, the people are getting late. Now the picture number 2 out here, where you can see a lot of civil defense people and also the normal citizens out here. They all are here lying down, closing their ears. You can clearly get the sense. Cameraman Gaurav showing you the visuals from here. The pictures, the exclusive pictures from Ground Zero. India Today TV is showing the atmosphere out here, and I must mention here that this is just the rehearsal. The mock drill is gonna be more and more serious because currently the civil defense people are being trained at Ground Zero to protect themselves from any air attack coming from Pakistan.
Right now I'm on the Dal Lake, and as you can see, the SDRF is doing a mock drill where different scenarios are being seen, and the effort is to send this message across to the people that they need to be prepared. Now, as you can see, this is a drill where a shikara has capsized and people are in water. So this is they're showing how those people need to be saved. Now, while the NDRF, the SDRF have the equipment, but they're even showing how people in their homes, using whatever is available, they can use that to save lives.
This nationwide mobilization brings back memories of full-scale wars with China in 1962 and with Pakistan in 1965 and 71. With Samarth Srivastav, Mir Farid and Vinay, Bureau Report, India Today.
So why exactly do these drills matter? We've been listing out for you 5 measures that the MHA has repeatedly been talking about. Let me highlight each of these measures and why it's being done. First, air raid sirens. Why does that matter? It's been the operationalization of air raid sirens is something that's being spoken of. It's one of the primary drills that is going to be conducted tomorrow. Why is this important? Because citizens should know what sound to watch out for, to listen for, and then know what that sound instructs them to do. So that's why you will be seeing the operationalization of these sounds being checked. Second, training of civilians for self-protection. Here's where also volunteers play a big role because they're already trained. Citizens don't panic during an emergency. Instead, know the exact protocol to follow and what needs to be done. Extremely crucial this, which is why you're seeing the self-protection step also being taken. Blackout measures, provision for blackout measures. Now, why is this done? Well, citizens should ensure they switch off the lights as soon as they're given the directive of blackout, because if jets are flying by, ensuring that civilian areas, establishments are fully blacked out, very important in an emergency or a wartime situation. Now, camouflaging of vital installations. I listed out for you nuclear plants, ports, etc. that are already part of the mock drill. Nuclear setups, ports should not be targeted, so there's already a plan to camouflage them, to hide them. This will be tested tomorrow. Updating of the evacuation plan to ensure you and I know where to go. Citizens are aware of which are the safe zones that they should go to in case of an emergency. Evacuation routes and safety points. All of that is something citizens should know of. So that's another key point of really what the MHA will do. I want to now take you across to this table that we have set up for you. This is essentially a setup of all the essentials that you need to have. I know that there are a whole lot of videos, messages, pictures on social media that are doing the rounds of what you should have in your residence. So we thought we'd break it down for you. Now, we've taken this from advisories given by the government, which is why this is your one-stop tracking destination of what you need in your residence. Let's begin with the basics. You need a torchlight. This is also an emergency light. But in case you have a torch with you, ensure you have enough batteries. Stock up on them. Have spare batteries as well, like I've had here. I've kept a handful of batteries with me. Now, ensure also a first aid kit. This is basic, and I'm sure a lot of you may already have it. You keep a first aid kit with you in your residence, and inside the first aid kit, ensure there are enough number of bandages. Also ensure there's a disinfectant. Like I said, this is for emergency situations. Obviously, you ensure that you stock up on water. You stock up on water and ensure you have enough bottles of that for you and your loved ones to last a certain amount of time so that you minimize how much time you really step out for. Now, besides that, we've also ensured that besides torches, you also keep candles and matchboxes with you. Now, this is in case of complete blackouts. Remember that even if you have an emergency lamp, power goes out, you can't recharge this. Your batteries run out. What do you turn to? You turn to candles, which is why it's important to have these. I'll continue getting you what else we have here. We've got a number of perishables as well, but essentials at the same time. You've got rice, you've got wheat flour, we've got also, a lot of dals and the likes, which last, which don't perish immediately. So you've got sugar, you've got milk powder as well, because getting milk will be a problem at such a time. Also because you won't have enough stock of it in stores, you don't have to repeatedly step out. Milk powder is the way to go. We also ensured, based on advisories, that you keep dry fruits, etc. with you, because again, these are easy to store. You can keep them in large quantities in your residence. So all of these non-perishables is what you keep in your house so that you don't run out of stock. You're not in a panic and you don't have to step out unnecessarily. A couple of more aspects that I'd like to show you here. Now, we spoke of blackout measures. What do we mean by that? Well, essentially, you switch off the lights in your home, but also a cloth, a blackout curtain. So when you have a black cloth like this, you can put it up, pin it up on your windows and ensure that it's complete darkness all around, that there's no light going out of your home. In case you don't have a cloth, use a cardboard. Use this to cover your windows as well. So this is essentially a list of items that you should have. I'll run you through it again. A first aid kit, bottles of water, you've got a torch, you've got batteries, candles, non-perishables, you've got rice, atta, dal, all of that. You've got dry fruits, black cloth that could act as essentially a blackout curtain or a cardboard box, whichever you prefer to use. This is what you need in your home. We've broken it down for you as elaborately as we can. Besides this, ensure you have a go-to bag. What do I mean by that? All of these essentials and a bit more like your documents, etc., cash, keep it in a bag, a getaway bag, a go-to bag that you can immediately strap on if you need to step out of your home. These are, mind you, emergency steps that you need to take only if the necessity arises. What we're breaking down for you is essentially to ensure you don't fall for all of the posts being put up on social media, which talks about a long list of what you need to stock up. And also remember, stockpiling right now will lead to shortage, chaos on the ground. So this is a list of the basics that you can keep in your home to ensure you're fully prepared. And with this, I can assure you, this is based on advisories from the government, so I can assure you that this is what you exactly need in your home. I want to take this across to our reporters, because even as we talk about really what citizens can do, let's put the focus again on those mock drills. And joining us now, we've got a battery of reporters spread across the country. Aishwarya Paliwal, live from Delhi. Divyesh Singh from Mumbai. Sagar Raj from Bengaluru. Pramod Madhav from Chennai. Suryagni Roy joining us live from Kolkata. And finally, Abdul Bashir from Hyderabad. Let's begin with the national capital, with Delhi. Obviously sensitive because of its location, because of it being the national capital. This falls in Category 1. What do I mean by Category 1? It means the highest level of threat. So as part of the list that's been given by the MHA, Delhi, which clearly mentions including Delhi cantonment, is mentioned as high threat. So you'll see maximum drills happening here as expected. Let me bring in Aishwarya Paliwal for details really on what to expect in the national capital. Aishwarya, there will be a spotlight on Delhi. It's your power citadel of sorts of the country, which is why it is in Category 1 of high threat. What really are we looking at tomorrow when these mock drills happen, Aishwarya? We've been hearing of some suggestions that these civil defense volunteers are also making people aware of rushing into metro stations which act as bunkers.
Well, definitely, Akshita, number one is the national capital, and not just from today. Since the day the attack took place, the unfortunate, the dastardly terror attack in Pahalgam, we have seen how the national capital has been in the spotlight, and also because you have everyone staying here. I'm standing right outside Prime Minister's residence, so all the important houses, all the important ministers, everyone is in the national capital, which is why the spotlight is on this place. We will be telling, the government now wants to make sure that every citizen understands what needs to be done, and especially in the the national capital as bunkers. As you rightly pointed out, the metro stations can double up as bunkers. What you need to do, what you need to look out for, that is something that we will see the volunteers telling people. A couple of the regions, let me tell you, in the national capital, CP, which is known as the heart of the national capital, Connaught Place is one of the areas where we will see a large number of volunteers out there. The police personnel will be out there. South Delhi, that is also one of the areas where we will see large number of people out there on the streets telling citizens what to do. The entire Latian zone, that's the place where we have all the ministers saying that's also the area that will be high focus tomorrow. So what needs to be done, what you need to look out for, and just in case you think something is not right, what you need to do, all that preparedness we'll see happening in the national capital, across the national capital throughout the day tomorrow. Akshita.
I also want to get in an update now from Mumbai. Residents of Mumbai, Mumbaikars, tomorrow you are going to be seeing a mock drill happening in your city as well. And let me just put out the details really of what the MHA has to say about Mumbai. Does it fall in category 1? Does it fall in category 2? Category 1, high threat. Because obviously Mumbai has seen terror attacks, has been in fact the target of terrorists previously. Mumbai also is one of those high threat areas, cities which will see elaborate mock drills happening tomorrow. And Divyesh is joining us with more details on that. Divyesh, we've been seeing a number of reporters by you and your colleagues about the kind of preparations on ground for tomorrow's mock drill. We understand several sensitive sites have been identified by officials, which is where these drills will happen.
Well, Akshita, Mumbai is the financial capital, and there are a number of key installations in Mumbai, in the city of Mumbai. They are scattered in South Mumbai, North Mumbai, Eastern Mumbai and Western Mumbai. There are a number of key locations. There are defense installations. There are important government offices, government headquarters located in Mumbai, and that is why it has been put into the category 1. Now, this mock drill that is going to happen will hear air raid sirens at around 50 to 60 locations, which have been installed at 50 to 60 locations across Mumbai. These air raid sirens will go on, and these will alert the civil defense volunteers. There are thousands of civil defense volunteers, and this mock drill, when we spoke to the director of civil defense this morning, he said that this mock drill is being conducted to check the preparedness or to evaluate the preparedness of civil defense volunteers. These civil defense volunteers who are trained to perform their duties or to help citizens during warlike situation, during wartime, their preparedness will be checked, and their expertise will help citizens to help each other, to help various other persons, to take them to safety in case of a warlike situation, in case of an emergency, and to see that there are no casualties, there are no injuries,
you
people
see
are not
essentially
hurt.
contingency plans being put in place across.
Or this mock drill is being conducted.
Let me take this across. All right, Divyesh getting us that update from Mumbai. Let me bring in Sagai Raj from Bengaluru right now. Sagai, interestingly, when you look at Bengaluru, it's Bengaluru Urban and Malleshwaram that have been identified as areas where you're going to be seeing these drills. But Bengaluru itself falling under category 2, which is moderate threat. Not high threat city, but moderate threat. And in Bengaluru, Bengaluru Urban and Malleshwaram particularly have been mentioned, Sagai.
Absolutely. These are the places which has been mentioned by the Home Ministry, and the government of Karnataka have taken serious cognizance of it. And now, as we speak, there is a meeting which is happening here at the Fire Force, and you can see that the arrangement is made here in this particular ground in Fire Force head office here in Bengaluru, where the civil defense, home guard, Fire Force personnel, as well as a few people from health department will be participating in this mock drill, where the stretchers, helmets, safety jackets and first aids will be given to them. The training will be given to them how they have to take care of the people during the emergency service, and there will be a mock drill which will be conducted to ensure that they take all kind of security measures if there's in case of any kind of emergency. They will also alert them what are the signs and what are the sirens that they will listen when there is any kind of emergency situation in the city.
Okay, Sagai, thanks for that update. I'll request you, Sagai, and all of our other reporters to stay on with us. Before I bring in Pramod Suryagni and Abdul Bashir, I'd like to bring in on this broadcast Kiran Bedi, former Delhi top cop. But importantly, the reason we have Kiran Bedi with us is because she's also served as the DG of Civil Defence. Thank you, ma'am, for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. I think your words or what you tell us really about this drill will be so crucial for all of our viewers who are watching right now. Can you just break down for us first, ma'am, the importance of having this kind of a drill and the role that civil defense volunteers actually play in such a circumstance of an emergency?
Look, drill is a practice and a rehearsal. Drill actually enables you to flex your muscles and then get over the hesitation. That's what a drill is meant for. It is a practice. It's like playing a game. You practice and then you know I can hit the stone. Similarly, in civil defense, there's a drill. Drill of rescue, drill of first aid, drill of firefighting, right? Drill of saving your body. All this, saving each other. Bringing a person in distress from the top to the bottom. Having a net below, so upar se jump kare, he comes on the net. Where is your equipment? So I think teamwork. It's all about discipline and also practice. So these rehearsals are now building your confidence, saying in a situation like this crisis, I can respond. But something you've not rehearsed doesn't matter, but your mindset is out there to take the risk. You become more courageous and you know your capability and you also know your team members. See, so when you know your team members and you can work together, that is what a drill is meant for. That's why you do drill in platoons, you drill in companies, because you all march together. This is what rehearsal is all about, where you work together as citizens, as strangers sometimes, as friends, and sometimes strangers. So therefore, such drills for such emergencies are very valuable, because then you know I can do it and I can do more.
Very important message. But ma'am, also explain this to us. In a mock drill, like the one that's going to be conducted tomorrow, this is for civil defense volunteers to check their training, to check our resources. How important is the role of an ordinary citizen, a civilian, in these kind of drills?
Well, the ordinary citizen will not be alone. They will have police with them, firefighters with them, disaster management with them, civil defense trained volunteers with them. They'll have home guards with them. All they have to do is join them, join with each other. At the moment, it's about teamwork. But if you have a doctor close by, you know first aid, learn first aid. But basically, listen to the law, listen to government instructions. And once the instruction is blackout, or everybody does a blackout, nobody switches on any light, doesn't even have a candle. And if you have a raid up there, you go underground, if you've got a trench, or you go under some level, so that if something falls on you, your vital parts of the body are protected. So I think you listen to instructions. And I would also say, keep your radios available, because sometimes the internet connections will go, in the power will go. So therefore your radio will work, because radio will work because of the battery. So I think radio would be a good form of communication to be kept with, because your iPhone will not catch the radio, because it will be on not internet. So I would think in such situation, radios are very valuable instruments. But it teaches you, the simulations will now come gradually. You'll see over the days, tomorrow is the drill, but it's uniting the country. It's making us aware. It's alerting us. And it is also telling us the risk involved. Today, the entire country is at risk. With the kind of new technology, anything can reach in any part of India. So no part of the country is safe. So, but the fact that if we have rehearsed it, we are mentally prepared to help each other, to be supporting each other, and not be selfish and not be greedy, I think it will work. That is the message, that India is united, and this rehearsal is actually going to unite us.
So, with this drill scheduled for tomorrow, ma'am, there have been a number of questions that citizens have been putting out. And we kind of scanned through social media to pick up a few of these questions. We thought it would be useful for our viewers if we asked them of you, and if you could tell them what really needs to be done in different circumstances. One of the questions that's frequently asked is, should I stock up on food and essentials right now? What do you think, ma'am?
No, not at all. That's not the need at all. When there's a need, I'm sure the government will alert you. I don't think you should do this at all.
Okay. Secondly, ma'am, What should I do if an air siren goes off? You know, these sounds are part of the drills. I think a lot of people are wondering when this kind of a siren is heard, or if, you know, this siren goes off, what do we do? Do I move somewhere else? Do I stay put?
No, if you have any safe shelter place, go under some safe shelter. Come under some safe shelter. If there's an underground, if there's a basement in the building, go into the basement. Or if you have a parking or a shelter close by, go under some shelter. So come under some shelter.
And, you know, that's the next question that's repeatedly asked by viewers, by people on social media. In the absence of bunkers, India, of course, doesn't have bunkers. What do you define, ma'am, as a safe zone for people?
As I said, basements are bunkers. Basement is almost like a bunker because it's protected if it's high rise. But if there is any outhouse which is brick and mortar, it is like a bunker. It's safe. It's safer rather than the open ground. But if there's nothing, just lie on the ground flat, and so that you can something skims over rather than you getting hit. But that's a maximum you can do. In such a situation, we are vulnerable, but look for a safe, protected area which has brick and mortar, if possible.
Okay. The other question that, you know, we've found often asked is about the blackout measures. And the question viewers constantly ask is, do I need to seal my windows during a blackout? What do you think, ma'am?
Not seal, but cover your windows with black. But switch off all your lights. Even a candle should not be seen because even that will be visible from the top. That can be detected. So try and seal not seal, but cover all your glasses with black paper.
Black paper, I'm guessing cardboard, blackout curtains, any of that works.
That's right. Anything which darkens it, but try and minimize the go into the basement if you really need to see something, so that it's not visible from the top.
Okay, let's pull out our next.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, let's pull out our next FAQ. I think this has come largely from our urban audiences who ask, am I at a greater risk because I live in a metro city? If I live in Delhi, ma'am, does it mean I'm at a greater risk? Does it mean I should move out to a smaller town?
I think once, if the things worsen, then there is nothing called safe zone. If things worsen, there's nothing called safe zone. We are all at risk. And everybody's at risk. So is the enemy at risk. So are we at risk. Humanity is at risk. If such a war happens with the kind of technology we have today, I think God knows who is not at risk in one form or the other. That is why the whole world is suggesting caution. But the point is we have to be prepared because we're being threatened to such a brutal way. It's threatening, but if we go to a war, then I am not sure who is not at risk. Everybody's at risk.
Okay, I think that's what you've done is essentially cleared the air for so many of our viewers on questions that they've been asking. But importantly, and my final question to you, ma'am, is also, with these drills happening, there's a lot of alarm that, this means war. This means that there is going to be an emergency that hits us. Can you just break down for us about how these kind of mock drills perhaps are routine or perhaps just following protocol right now?
Mock drills are preparation, mental preparation to bring us together, to not be taken by surprise. And government is performing its duty to alert us, train us, prepare us, unite us, and also mentally make us more confident. Because when you rehearse, you know I can do it. But if things go back to worse, you will have to go into more simulations. Things will go up. And this is at the moment uniting us, preparing us mentally making us more confident, and also being ready to be citizens' role. It's realizing that we are here as citizens of India, not ourselves, not as Kiran Bedi, but the Indian Kiran. We are all Indians together. It's a motherland. We are all together to protect our motherland. Just as we protect our mothers, we protect our motherland. A motherland which has given birth to us, given us our parents here, given us our everything here. So I think it's preparing us to be rooted now and value and respect and regard our motherland. So we are here to protect our motherland. Rehearsal is a mental preparation to understand and love and protect our motherland. And with motherland, all our brethren, sisters and brothers of this country. Let nobody divide us at the moment. Nobody divide us. And also to be very cautious, ears and eyes of the government, so that if you hear anything, you see a suspicious movement, you see, immediately inform the enforcement authorities to take charge. So I think that's important. Don't protect it. Don't keep it. Share it. Give it. So that, and don't say, मेरा क्या होगा? अरे तेरा तो कुछ हो ही जाएगा, तो दूसरों का भी होगा, तेरा पहले होगा. So I think that's a message is, if you detect anything suspicious, inform immediately, and it is then the onus of the government to act on it.
Okay, very, very important message, and I'm sure for our viewers it's been extremely reassuring where you speak about what really the motive is behind these drills, and it's all about rehearsal. Thanks very much, ma'am, for joining us here on India Today, for giving us your time. Kiran Bedi, former top cop, importantly, has also served as a former DG of Civil Defence, so she knows exactly what she's talking about when she says that these drills are more of ensuring that mentally we're prepared. It's a rehearsal, nothing more, and ensuring we're united as a country. Let me continue getting you a sense of what's happening right now across the nation as we're gearing up for those drills. I'm taking this across now to Pramod Madhav. He's joining us live from Chennai. Chennai is, interestingly, one of those cities in the south which falls under Category 1 of a high threat. Perhaps because it's a coastal city is why Chennai falls in that category. And it's not just Chennai, but also Kalpakkam, the nuclear power plant in Tamil Nadu, which also falls in that category. So there will be a focus, Pramod, on what these drills actually look like in the city of Chennai, perhaps in Category 1 because it's by the sea.
It certainly is, Akshita, and you're absolutely right about saying that how Tamil Nadu has a vast coastline. Not just that, we also have two power plants, not one. One is Kudankulam and the other one is Kalpakkam. And right now we've been given information that 4 locations have been decided to go ahead with the mock drills for tomorrow. One is Kalpakkam. The other one is about the heavy vehicles and ordnance factory that is at Avadi. The other one is an oil refinery which is at Mannadi. All these are around Chennai, and also the Chennai airport. All these are the 4 locations where we can go ahead and see a mock drill. The Home Secretary for the state of Tamil Nadu held an extensive meeting today, and we are waiting for more details on it. But these are the 4 locations that have been chosen, and we presume one of them would be decided to go ahead with mock drills, especially, just like you mentioned, it is about the usage of air raids. What if there is a kind of disaster and immediately people have to be evacuated? What are the discipline the people need to follow at this kind of crucial times? These are the ones that will be actually decided and will be enacted tomorrow to make sure that in a moment of panic, people know what to do and crucial lives could be saved, Akshita.
So there are a couple of sensitive regions, areas in Tamil Nadu which will be seeing these drills, and Pramod will be tracking those updates. Let me take this across also to Suryagni Roy. He's joining us live from Kolkata. What about Bengal? Does it fall in the high threat area? Does Kolkata fall in the high threat area? Let's just take a quick look at that. Not really. Kolkata's in Category 2, moderate threat, much like Bengaluru. But Suryagni, at the same time, it's not just Kolkata, but there's actually a long list from West Bengal of places where we're going to be seeing these mock drills happen tomorrow.
Well, absolutely, Akshita. Let's not forget that West Bengal is a border state, and it does share a long. It does shares the the longest border that India has with Bangladesh, and given the entire geopolitical situation, maybe that's the reason why so many districts of West Bengal and even Greater Kolkata has been included in those, in the list where the civil defense mock drills will happen tomorrow. However, it's still unclear where all are the centers or the places where the drill will be happening. As we speak, what we do come to know is that a decision is, supposed to be taken on these spots where the drill is likely to happen tomorrow. But, as and when it happens, it has to be seen how the civil defense, the teams, they conduct the drills, because let's not forget, we were speaking about the metros and the underground bunkers and all in various other parts of the country. Kolkata has a very, long metro, line, and it's not a year back, or it does have a long history associated to it, and it's the oldest metro, line that India has. So it has to be seen how the government over here plans to conduct these mock drills and utilize the resources that it has.
So, very often why Suryagni is also talking about these metro stations is because these stations turn into bunkers in many parts of the country in the absence of bunkers. Let me bring in Abdul Bashir. He's joining us live from Hyderabad. What about the city of Hyderabad? It is very much going to see these mock drills, but is not considered to be high threat. It falls under category 2, which is a moderate threat zone. But having said that, it's been identified as one of the cities that will have these mock drills. Hyderabad, Abdul, I'm sure, is gearing up for these drills. And it isn't just Hyderabad. There are specific locations in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh too that have been identified.
Well, yes, Hyderabad and Visakhapatnam both are the locations where this security drills or mock drills will be conducted. When we talk about Hyderabad, Hyderabad is completely geared up, which comes under category 2. Of tomorrow at 4 p.m. is where this mock drill will be held. The integrated command control center, along with it, other locations, several locations where industrial sirens will be activated sharp at 4 o'clock, after which the preparation will start. And at 4:15 is where the civil defense services, 12 of the civil defense services will come into action, where 4 locations will be decided where this mock drills will be held, where the police, fire brigade, medical services, revenue and municipal officials, including SDRF, will be on the ground, where a situation will be created where how to evacuate people, get the injured people out, make a note of the missing persons. Everything will be done after air strike intimation from air raid information that will be given from the integrated command control center to these 12 civil defense services. Now, these 12 civil defense services will be on ground at these 4 locations where the whole mock drill will be conducted, and at 4:30 p.m. is where the whole action will end. So this half an hour time has been decided by the Telangana government.
And in other parts of the country will mostly happen at about 4 in the evening. But we're going to be tracking all the latest updates. The reason I got all of our reporters to join us on this broadcast is to give you a sense of how we're covering every single part of the country and the drills that will be taking place tomorrow. But I'd like to thank all of them for joining us on this broadcast. We will get you the latest updates on those drills, but let's cut across to big breaking news that's coming in. And India has now issued a notum for a fairly large air exercise along the southern section of its border with Pakistan. And this notum has been issued for 7th and 8th May. That's tomorrow and the day after. The Indian Air Force flexing muscle, planning a mega air exercise along the southern section of our border with Pakistan. Big breaking news that's coming in. A notum, as is protocol, has been issued, which is essentially a notification that's gone through for 7th and 8th May for these exercises to take place. Shivani Sharma is joining us with more details on this. Shivani, any details really that are being put out on the nature of these air exercises and exactly where it will happen?
See, the Indian Air Force has been conducting exercise regularly, and this is the second big exercise that has been planned for tomorrow. And as we can see that this is the NOTAM that has been issued by the Indian Air Force for this particular exercise. But it's important that this is happening quite close to the Rajasthan border, where we have a number of air bases of Indian Air Force, and most of them will be activated with most of the assets. So this is the operational preparedness of the Indian Armed Forces, including the Indian Air Force. Remember, after the Pahalgam attack, immediately there was a exercise which was carried out by the Indian Air Force. It was exercise Akraman. And this is the second big exercise for which we can see the NOTAM has been issued. So big operational demonstrations by the Indian Air Force are planned during this duration that shows starting tomorrow.
Okay, Shivani, thanks for those details. Tomorrow and the day after is when these air exercises will take place. Big breaking news coming in from Balochistan, where there's been another attack on the Pakistan Army. A Pakistan Army vehicle has been targeted. 6 Pakistani soldiers have died in this attack. It's an IED blast, is the information that we have. 6 Pakistani Army personnel, including an officer, has died in this attack. 5 have been injured. We understand that a major rank soldier of the Pakistan Army has also died in this blast. It's an IED blast that took place in the Geshtri area of Bolan district of Balochistan. This is the news that's just come in of 6 Pakistani soldiers who've died in this attack. 5 others have also been injured. The information that we have right now is that it is an IED blast that took place. And amid tensions between India and Pakistan, you've got a message coming in from Sunil Gavaskar. We spoke exclusively to Gavaskar, who says very clearly we have utmost... maintains there's no impact on the IPL as of now. Here's an excerpt of the conversation we had with Gavaskar.
Right, with a shadow of imminent India-Pakistan war, we are discussing how will that impact cricket and the IPL, which is ongoing at the moment. Joining us for more on that is former captain of the Indian team and now a commentator, voice of Indian cricket in Sunny Gavaskar. Sai bhai, after the notices that we've got and the advisory that has come from the central government for states to follow a protocol, have a lights out drill, it seems, military action is imminent. How do you feel this, if it was to be what we're expecting it is to be, how do you think it is going to impact the IPL, which is ongoing at the moment?
Well, at the moment, till something happens, I don't think it will impact the IPL. Yes, in the evening where the match is being played, there will be, of course, when there will be perhaps the lights off drill in the city. Then I think that could be a little bit of a concern. But as of now, I don't see the drills really affecting the IPL.
We were reading a bit of news report on that. It's the first time something like this has been advised to state governments after 1971. Do you have any memories of those years?
Not so much 1971, because 1971 I was pretty much out of India for most of the time. First we were in the West Indies, then we went a month and a half later, we went to England, and then a month and a half later again, 2 months later, I was in Australia for the rest of the world. So that whole of 1971, I was out of India. And when the war took place, I was actually in Australia then. So I don't remember much of 1971, but I remember very much what happened in 1965, when we were told that to put a black cloth on the windows, particularly in the evening when we had the lights on, to try and go up to the ventilator wherever possible to shut out the light from being seen from outside. So that's what we were told. And when the siren came on, we were told to try and get to the basement. We didn't have any shelter, underground shelter, anything of the sort. But whichever society, whichever building had a basement, we were advised to go down there. For a little while, really, it was no more than 10 minutes or so, and then we would 10, 15 minutes, and then we would be back up in our houses.
So anyway, the situation that the two countries find themselves in, one can't fathom any sort of cricket between the two in a scenario that is there at the moment. You spoke about the Asia Cup the other day. Maybe you said have a tri-series or a quadrangular series instead of an Asia Cup without Pakistan. The other thing that comes to your mind is right after the Asia Cup is also the ICC tournament in a Women's World Cup. Do you see a scenario where India and Pakistan can play even in an ICC tournament, even though it will be played in a neutral venue, as we already know, in times that we are at the moment? Can you even envision an India-Pakistan game at all?
Well, that's some months away. So, you never know what happens. Things can get better. And I do hope that things can get better. But till then, I think it's very difficult to say. At the moment, if you were to ask me next week, I don't think, India and Pakistan could have played next week. But this ICC tournament is a little distance away, so maybe we'll have to wait a bit for that.
Finally, Saibhai, as a prominent citizen of the country, what would be your message to your countrymen ahead of what is turning into a hostile situation between two nuclear powers at the moment?
Well, I just have a message for our armed forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force, that, we have the utmost faith and trust in you. All these years, we've been sleeping peacefully only because of how you are guarding our borders and how you are guarding our interiors as well. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. And even now, when everybody is maybe just a little tense, we still have the utmost faith and trust in you. I wish you all the best in whatever you are doing and continue to do. God bless you. And to fellow citizens, I will just say that, this is the time that all of us have to come together. We've got to forget all our little petty differences that we might have, petty, misconceptions that we might have, and just get together and just get behind our army and our government.
So what happens to tomorrow's IPL game? It's a match of KKR versus CSK at the Eden Garden, but with the mock drills planned tomorrow and even blackouts as a part of the drill, will tomorrow's match be affected? We spoke to the IPL chairman on this. Listen in.
हम बायलेटरल्स तो नहीं खेलते हैं, लेकिन आईसीसी के टूर्नामेंट्स में तो आईसीसी प्रोटोकॉल के तहत हमें खेलना पड़ता है. आप कैसे देखते हैं सर इसको, कि क्या अब वो वक्त आ गया है कि हम गवर्नमेंट के डायरेक्शंस जो भी हैं उसके साथ चलें और उस चीज को फॉलो करें?
निश्चित तौर पर इसमें तो कोई दूसरी सोच हो ही नहीं सकती. जो भी हमारे देश के हित में होगा, सरकार जो भी निर्णय लेगी, बीसीसीआई उसके साथ एकजुटता के साथ खड़ी है. जो भी निर्देश होगा उसका पालन किया जाएगा, क्योंकि देश के आगे कुछ भी नहीं है. इंडिया फर्स्ट, ये बीसीसीआई इस मोटो को लेकर चलती है. और जब भी ऐसा कोई निर्णय आएगा जहां हमें चुनाव करना होगा, हम देश को पहले, देश हित को पहले आगे रखेंगे.
एक और सवाल सर आपसे मैं पूछना चाह रहा था, क्योंकि आईपीएल अभी चल रहा है भारत के अंदर में, और जो भी फिलहाल जो डेवलपमेंट्स हैं उसको देखते हुए आईपीएल का प्लान क्या है, मतलब आईपीएल का प्लान बी क्या है इन केस अगर ऐसा कुछ होता है. सो उस वक्त क्या डिसीजंस लिए जा सकते हैं, या फिर क्या कुछ ऐसा है जिसको ध्यान में रखने की जरूरत होगी आईपीएल गवर्निंग काउंसिल को?
देखिए, बहुत सारी स्पेकुलेटिव चीजें चल रही हैं, उसके बारे में तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन जब भी ऐसा कोई निर्णय करने का समय आएगा जहां लगेगा कि देश हित के लिए कुछ भी कर गुजरने की जरूरत है, तो बीसीसीआई उसमें सरकार में और देश के साथ एकजुटता के साथ खड़ी रहेगी.
Before I wrap up this broadcast, let's get to our daily fact check. There are several videos doing the rounds on social media. We found one that shows an Air Force fighter jet crashing while taking off, and the claim was that this was during a recent wartime drill. So we went through that footage, scanned it, and found that this video has actually been doing the rounds for the last many years, since 2013. And it in all likelihood shows a 2010 crash. So no, currently there's been no plane crash, no Air Force plane crash that's been reported in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack on April 22nd. So we will continue getting you details of what's fake versus what's fact as we continue getting you all of those updates of videos that are constantly doing the rounds on social media. Don't believe everything you see out there. But that's all we have time for in this edition of Super 6. Thanks very much for tuning in.